Namaskar, good morning. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I am Smriti Rastogi with Today in Parliament. Let's begin the bulletin with the headlines. A total of 189 private members' legislation listed in both the Houses of Parliament for discussion today. Several key bills, including Population Control Bill 2019, listed in the Rajya Sabha. Uniform Education Bill 2019 listed for introduction in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha to discuss International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019 and the Arms Amendment Bill 2019. Discussion under Rule 193 on crop loss and farmers to continue in the Lok Sabha. Standing Committee reports on Energy, Resources and Public Accounts Committee to be presented in both the Houses of the Parliament. It is the day of Private Members' Bill in both the Houses of the Parliament today. The second half of the Rajya Sabha session today will see several Private Members' Bill for introduction, including the Nationalization of Interstate Rivers Bill 2019 to be moved for introduction by MP T. Subbarama Reddy. The Mangrove Forest Special Provisions Bill 2019 to be introduced by MP Rajkumar Dhoot. The Population Control Bill 2019 to be moved for introduction by MP Abhishek Manu Singhvi. The Prohibition of Multi-Digit Lotteries Bill 2019 will be moved for introduction by BJP MP Vijay Goyal. Several private members' bill are also listed in the Lok Sabha's agenda today. Unemployment Allowance Bill 2019 will be moved for introduction by MP Ashok Mahadev Rao Nete. Uniform Education Bill 2019 will be introduced by MP Rakesh Singh. MP Varun Gandhi will move the Farmers' Right to Minimum Price Realization of Agricultural Produce Bill 2019. And the Religious Conversion Prohibition Bill 2019 will be moved by MP Bhartuhari Mehtab. And in the legislative business in the Lok Sabha, Nirmala Sitharaman will move the International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. The bill aims to provide for the establishment of an authority to develop and regulate the financial services market in the international financial services centres in India. The Arms Amendment Bill 2019 is also listed for consideration and passing. The bill seeks to enhance punishment for illegally possessing and making prohibited arms. The bill also makes provision that a person can have a maximum of 2 firearms as against the present norm of 3. The bill will be moved by Home Minister Amit Shah. And further discussion under Rule 193 on crop loss and farmer issues will continue in the House today. The discussion is being held after Congress MP K. Suresh and Shiv Sena MP Gajanan Kirtikar raised the issue in the House. Unseasonal rains and hailstorms have severely damaged crops in many states, including Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. During the discussion, members highlighted the seriousness of the problem and put forth their suggestions for a solution. And for more inputs, we'll go across to our correspondent Kriti Mishra, who is joining us live from the Parliament premises. A very good morning, Kriti. In the legislative business on the agenda, apart from the private members' bill, the International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019, Arms Amendment Bill 2019 and discussion under Rule 193 on crop loss and farmers' issues is slated for the day. How is the legislative agenda placed in the Lok Sabha?
Well, good morning, Smriti. Talking about the Lok Sabha, there are important items that are listed in day's agenda. Of course, there's government business as well, which is the International Financial Services Centre Bill. Remember, the government is trying to create a very robust capital and financial markets by increasing the inter-regulatory coordination by setting up this authority. Right now, the capital markets as well as the financial markets are controlled by multiple regulators like RBI, SEBI, IRDA as well as PFRDA. Now, this bill will ensure that there is sync in the practices which would be comparable to countries like London and Singapore. There's also Arms Amendment Bill to reduce the possession of arms from 3 to 2, and also a discussion under Rule 193 on crop loss to the farmers would continue in the lower house. Remember, members had expressed apprehensions and also demanded solution and compensation for the farmers because there are reports that in Maharashtra alone, crop loss over 70 hectares, 70 lakh hectare of land has been reported. And also in Madhya Pradesh, there have been reports of massive crop losses. So that discussion is likely to continue in the Lok Sabha. And in addition to that, since it is Friday, there are a number of private members' bill that would be taken up in the lower house. Smriti?
All right, Kriti, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all those details from there in the Parliament. And now a look at some other legislative business in the upper house. The following ministers will lay papers on the table pertaining to their ministries. Raj Kumar Singh for Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Mansukh Lal Mandavia for Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Danve Rao Saheb Dada Rao for Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Parshottam Rupala for Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti for Ministry of Rural Development. Som Prakash for Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Kailash Chaudhary for Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Anurag Thakur will lay on the table CAG report on Union Government Defence Services Ordnance Factories for the year ended March 2018. Members Vikas Mahatme and Prabhakar Reddy Vemireddy will present a standing committee report on coal and steel. Members TKS Ilangovan and Javed Ali Khan will present a standing committee report on energy. Members Sukhendu Shekhar Ray and Bhupender Yadav will present reports on the Public Accounts Committee on revision of ceilings for exception reporting in appropriation accounts, health and family welfare, and assessment of entities engaged in health and allied sector. Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will make a statement in the House on the Standing Committee report on trade with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Minister V. Muralidharan will make a statement regarding government business for the remaining part of the session. And following ministers will lay papers on the table in the Lok Sabha today. Smriti Zubin Irani for Ministry of Textiles. Harshvardhan for Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of Earth Sciences. Prakash Javadekar for Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Shripad Yesso Naik for Ministry of Ayush. Ashwini Kumar Chaube for Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Secretary General to report a message from Rajya Sabha regarding the National Capital Territory of Delhi recognition of property rights of residents in Unauthorized Colonies Bill 2019. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and Jagdambika Pal will present the reports on the Public Accounts Committee. Members will present reports of the Standing Committee on Energy. Members will present reports on the Standing Committee on Coal and Steel. Arjun Ram Meghwal to make a statement regarding government business during the remaining part of the second session of the 17th Lok Sabha. Arjun Ram Meghwal and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary will move that this House do agree with the 11th report of the Business Advisory Committee presented to the House on 5th of December 2019. And that's all we have for you in this edition. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.